Looks like I am live. Hey, everyone. Kenyatta Turner here, CEO and founder of Freedom Empire Consulting. And I am here doing a meet and greet with Jerilyn Brown. I'm going to bring her up here in just a moment. I am so excited. I'm glad that you are here. Checking out this live. You know the rules. If you've done one of my lives before or watched one before, drop a comment in, do a hashtag team live or a hashtag team replay, whichever, so we know that you were here. And I'm excited. We're just going to spend a few moments because I want to introduce you to someone that I met actually through one of our networking meetings that I'm in. It was 7 networking, where I met Jerilyn Brown, and we've been connected. We've talked on and off, but then she reached out to me and asked me to be a part of this summit that she is doing, which I'm so excited. So I'm going to bring her on, introduce you to her, let her explain a couple of things, and you get to meet her as well. So if you don't know her, follow her, connect with her. Jerilyn Brown, welcome to the stage. Hey.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Now, I'm so excited that you are here. Now, first things first, you said you're teaching right now. I see it looks like a classroom setting behind you. So please introduce yourself and tell us what's going on behind you.
Let me put the link really quickly so I know how to do that. Yeah, I'm a teacher, and this is my classroom. We're actually back in a class right now for 2 days a week. I teach on campus 4 days a week, but I have students in my class 2 days a week. They've already gone home, and now they do their work online asynchronously instead of in an actual class. And I'm on my lunch minute, and so yeah, I'm sitting in my classroom. I teach special education.
Fantastic.
And,
well, thanks for
love it.
setting this up during your lunch break and all the wonderful work that you do to help. As a teacher
Thanks.
myself, I understand, the different angles of what we do. We're some of the most powerful people on the planet. I would have to say,
That's the truth. Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
so much
certainly
truth to
some of the
that.
most,
So
so influential.
absolutely. So thank you for being here. And thanks for, saying, hey, let's do a quick live just to say hello to the folks out there in TV land, I like to say, and really talk about the summit that you have coming up. So I'm excited about it. And I want you to share about it because, you're the host of it. So I want to definitely give you an opportunity to explain to the people who are watching right now what this summit is all about, what it is that you do, what the summit is about, and why should they attend?
Okay. So what's happened is in my life, like everybody I know, I've had stuff happen. I've had wonderful, amazing things happen to me, and I've had really devastating, terrible things happen to me. And I don't know anybody who hasn't had stuff happen to them. Do you? Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's life.
It's life. And I often say, if you've been through the 5th grade, you've had stuff happen to you, because the 5th grade can be really hard.
Right.
It's a place where mean girls hang out. So I always say, if you made it through the 5th grade, you've had stuff happen to you in your life. But through life, a lot of women spend time beating themselves up, or they decide, I'm not really worth very much. I'm not enough. I suck at this. I'm not good at that. I can't be as good as so and so. We compare ourselves. We beat ourselves up, and basically we do not love ourselves the way that we love other people. And so through a series of experiences in my life, I've discovered that becoming my own best friend is one of the most, if not the most critical, important thing I've ever done in my life. It's changed everything in my life when I learned to love myself more than I love anybody else, because now love just flows out, right? I mean, think of it as, you've got a vase here, and you always hear you can't pour from an empty cup, right? And you can't. But if you keep pouring in and then you keep pouring out, you're always trying to get back to full, and you never do. But if you pour in so much to yourself and you really take that seriously, and you don't feel guilty about it, and you don't apologize for it, but you really, truly, humbly look at who you are and how you can become unstuck, and you can stop that negative record that plays in your head. You can go record a new record. That vessel soon becomes overflowing. So instead of pouring out, where you then have to pour in again, and it's this constant exchange, by just pouring so much into yourself, it just starts to flow out of you.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
it's at the rim and it's always flowing out of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so I've learned through a series of experiences in life that I'm going to
Hmm.
go into more detail on Saturday, that really is key to getting unstuck. And so one of my partners in crime, if you will, Becky Rogers, she is the CEO of an NGO in Africa called
Okay.
Families Mentoring Families. She and I got connected, and I went over to Africa 2 years ago, and I was there for a month, and we did a lot of service there, within her
Wonderful.
group, and I became well, my entire life changed from that. That was an enormous experience for me to go through. I was supposed to go again this last summer, and of course, that didn't happen because nobody
Oh,
traveled last
what?
summer.
Did something happen?
Right? Life? Yes. And
Yeah.
so, we got put in this very interesting situation where we couldn't actually travel. And so instead of saying, okay, well, that sucks, my life sucks and all of that, I went, all right, this is an opportunity for me to go and grow this business of your kind of mind and help women to learn to love themselves more and accept who they are and identify, re um, look and evaluate who they are
Mm-hmm.
and where they need to go to love themselves more. This is an opportunity for me to do that. So I did that. And in doing that, Becky and I realized, because she also has her own businesses, that our two businesses mesh together perfectly. And
Mm.
so she has a business called Life Story, where she actually teaches people how to manifest by rewriting your life story into what you actually
Mm.
want. She and I have done this numerous times,
Okay.
and you start to rewrite your story. So between what she does and what I do, we thought, we need to take this to a bigger level. So that's where we came up with Unstick Your Stuck. And
Love it.
so we are super excited because we've got a whole host of amazing presenters,
Mhm.
and you are one of them. And
Yes, thank
you're
you.
yes, you're welcome. And so we had an opportunity, you and I, we met each other, like you said, through Seven
Hmm.
networking. That has been a phenomenal experience for me. I mean, I think life is really all about networking and,
Yeah.
weaning out the people who are toxic in your life and bringing in the people who are positive.
Yes.
And I've been following you for about a year now. I've been so impressed with what you've been doing.
Oh, thank
And I
you.
keep thinking, you're welcome. And I keep thinking, okay, I'm gonna take all of her courses. And I've watched what you've done. I've shown up to a couple of the things you've done, and I've been like, whoa, this is mind blowing stuff, because you're so good at what you do with your behavioral superpowers. And I thought the
Thank you.
women need to see this. Like, the women who are in this event need to
Yes.
see what you do. They need to experience what you do. I need to connect women with you. And that's really what this event is for, is to help women unstick their stuck, because we're all stuck somewhere in some
We
capacity.
we really truly are. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you paying attention, for one, right? We do what we do. We don't know who sees what, right? And we know we have to just keep showing
Absolutely.
up. We have to keep putting it out there. We have to keep helping people see what it is that we see by simply
Mm-hmm.
sharing it. And so that's all I do. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that you happen to pick up on a couple of things, and invite me to this, because when I was listening to you talk about it and think about the title, Unstick Your Stuck. And here's what I know, and what I know very well. And those of you listening to me probably heard me say this before, is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So as you think about your behavior and you think about the things that you just naturally do because you're hardwired to do it, those are the things that oftentimes keep you stuck. Like you mentioned, the playing the
Yeah.
record over and over again, right? You said go go record a new record. Now, that's easier said than done, of course, because the things that typically keep us
Yeah.
stuck are so ingrained within us that to write a whole new story or to record a whole new record comes with intentionality and consciousness. But first and foremost, self-awareness and
Yeah.
behavioral self-awareness. And
Admitting that
that's
you're
why I'm
stuck.
so
Yes.
excited to share this with the women and, have a little workshop during the breakout session, because I'm so passionate about this, obviously, but I've seen the transformation that takes place almost immediately when people understand how they're behaviorally wired, and they know why they show up the way that they do 91% of the time. The light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, because personal development is fantastic and one thing, but how do you know what to develop? Like that's where I come from. It's like, okay, let's go personally develop, but what book should I read and why that book or this or that? So I tell people, hey, here's your baseline. Now you know what to develop, right? But if you don't know what to develop, you're kind of drawing, grasping for straws. And so we just narrow it down.
Exactly.
So I'm so excited for the opportunity to take the stage, at your summit with all the other amazing speakers and just, be able to share this information. So I appreciate, the invitation for sure.
Well, absolutely. Well, another thing that I thought was really interesting when I started hearing you talk about your behavioral superpowers and how you go about all of that that's what I've done for 29 years. I'm now in I'm just closing my 34th year of teaching. We've got less than 5 days left of school year, of a very interesting and difficult school year, but really historic and epic school year at the same time. It's just been a phenomenal school year in the things that myself and my kids have learned. But for 29 years of my career, I actually dealt with behavior, teaching emotionally disturbed students how to change their behavior. And some of it, it's a DNA thing. Like it goes back for generations of stuff that we bring into us, right? And so to really understand that is so critical and so hard. And painful at times.
And very painful. It can be very painful at times.
It can be really painful.
Yes.
But to stay stuck is more painful.
Right.
And it's so, you call your business Freedom Empire. I know that's not by mistake.
No.
That's a very intentional name that you call your business, because once you get past those things, you are so much freer.
Yes.
And you can go and you can, exactly. And you can impact people in such, in so many greater ways. But you've got to get past some of those things. And so in this event, we're going to be talking, we have speakers that are like you. You're going to talk about what is your behavior superpower and what is the baseline? So you can move forward from that. We've got people that are going to be talking about being stuck in spirituality. And what does that look like? And what did that look like for them? And people who are stuck in relationships, platonically or romantically, people who are stuck, I'm going to be talking about people who are stuck in the relationship with themselves. I think that's probably the number one.
Yeah.
That's the number one place that we're stuck, is the relationship within ourselves and our belief within ourselves. And, do we believe what we're told to believe that everybody else is telling us, or can we, yeah. And what we've been told for generations within our own genes and our own, it's so deep. And so, we've got people who are going to be talking about the physical fit, being stuck with your physical fitness. And, you've got your mind, you've got your body. Yeah. You've got mind, body, spirit, love. And so I am just super excited about where this can go. And so what's going to happen, we have Alka Joshi, who is she's a #1 New York Times best-selling author of the book, The Henna Artist. And and it's a beautifully written book. And she's going to be our keynote. And I'm so excited that we have that keynote. So she's going to be the keynote, and she's going to speak for about 30 minutes, and then she's going to take questions. And even if you haven't read the book, she'll be there. So she's going to be in the morning, and you're going to want to read the book when you're done, because it's basically written about how she's a woman who didn't think she had very much power, and then was able to go and find her own self and find her own power within herself. So it's a really beautifully written book. Yeah. And then we're going to have a panel of just a couple people during lunch that are going to be talking about, victim or victor. It's a choice.
Yep.
Because it is,
yes,
and that right.
Yes, it is.
That right there sometimes is really hard to hear.
Oh, sure.
Because we don't want to hear that we're playing the victim role. But it's painful to hear when
It's painful, and typically, historically, people love to blame other people. It's fun to blame other, because then you don't have to take any responsibility.
Correct.
You know?
That's correct. And that's
Yes.
another place to be
Mhm.
stuck.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah,
I don't
agree.
want to take responsibility for my own life
Yes.
because it's hard,
Yes.
So
Yes.
there are going to be women who are like, okay, but I'm ready to get unstuck. I'm ready
Yeah.
to do the hard. I'm ready to move forward. I mean, talk about being stuck in this last year. Holy cow.
Absolutely. Well,
And this is
the people who are listening, women out there in TV land, if you're listening to this and you're resonating with what it is that she's talking about, if you felt for one moment that you've been stuck, well, then come and take a listen to all these amazing speakers in the panel, the author and everything in the workshops. Come join us, because you're not alone. You're not the only one who's felt that way. But ask yourself the question, how long do you want to remain stuck? If you know that you are, then really, for how much longer? Come up, figure that out, because you might decide no longer. Like, today's the last day. I got to do something to make that change. Or, by the end of May, I want to figure out how to get unstuck. And if that's the case, then what is your strategy? Hope it's not a strategy. So you can't say, I hope to get unstuck. You need a strategy, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you come to the summit, you'll learn some strategies. So then you have some breakouts,
exactly right.
and then what else?
So we're going to have that panel, and then we're going to have 3 breakout sessions, and each breakout session will have 3 to 4 speakers. And so when you sign up, it's an Eventbrite event. I think I put it in the chat, but I don't know if it showed up.
That's all right. You put it in the private chat, but I put it in the right chat. I gotcha.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Anyway, and so when you sign up, you'll get an email that will let you go in and choose the presenter that you want to actually see live, because we're not going to be able to get 10 presenters to you live. It's too much. But then what you could do is say, okay, so every morning if I didn't get a chance to see Jerilyn because I chose Kenyatta, then maybe while I'm having breakfast or something, I'm going to listen to Jerilyn's seminar. Right. Nice. And so that's how that's going to work. You're going to get to go to 3 live. So the prices are $47 if you want to just show up for the event. That will not get you the panel luncheon, but it will get you all the morning activities, and it will get you the 3 breakout sessions. But for $97 is really a better deal, especially if you're not sure you're going to be able to make it to the whole day, because I know to ask a whole day is a lot. But for $97, which, I mean, this is the value of this, for me to speak, for you to speak, the value of that alone for all of these people to come together is well over $1,500. And we're just asking for $97, which I think is an amazing value. You're going to get all the recordings of everybody. So when you're speaking, if I can't go to see you, I can still get your information. I can still reach out to you and say, I'm ready to find out what my behavioral superpower is, Kenyatta, or reach out to Dr. Natasha Rangel, who is a spirituality expert and is going to help you figure out how to heal from disappointment. I mean, her story is almost bone chilling, I mean,
you can watch, you can go back. So basically for the $97, you can go back and you can watch it on demand. So that's fantastic. Now you mentioned
that's it basically.
Yeah. And you mentioned the proceeds are going somewhere. Talk about that for a moment before we wrap up.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited about that. So I mentioned my partner in crime, Becky, who's doing this event with me. She's co-hosting. She is the CEO of an organization called Families Mentoring Families. And there's a video clip in the Eventbrite that you can also see what that is about. But Families Mentoring Families is about 4 years old now, and it is an organization based out of Utah, but exists in Ghana, Africa, and Kumasi. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say in Africa and Kenya. In Ghana and Kenya.
Ghana and Kenya.
We've also and we've opened up literacy centers for children and moms. So we basically have opened up mom schools. Because what we know is this. I know, right? Because what we know is this. If moms can learn to read, they can then learn a skill that they can become self-reliant.
Yes.
And they can become unstuck. And they can then, a lot of them have given their children up because they don't have a means to support their children. The children are not orphans. the mother lives down the road or, in the next city over or something, but they have to give them up because they don't have a way to support their children. And so Families Mentoring Families is taking it to the grassroots of what do we need to do to help the mother support herself and her children. And then we come together and we teach that once they're together, we bring them into a sanctuary almost. It's a physical sanctuary called the Family Restoration Center, where we then help them learn how to be a family.
Wow.
Because if you've never lived as
they've never lived if they were separated. Yeah. So you teach them how to live. That's pretty fantastic. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What excellent
That's
work
pretty
that you were
exciting,
doing. Yeah. What excellent work she's doing, that organization, and you as well, supporting her. And so this summit you mentioned, the proceeds that people are, paying to be a part of it are going to go to help support that organization.
Yeah. So what a way to win, right?
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Well, I know that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of it. And I agree. I'm like, yeah, this sounds great. I'll definitely, contribute my time to it for the multiple reasons that there could be some value there. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And Jerilyn, thank you so much for coming on and chatting about it. I don't want to keep you too long here, but it was great for, me just to kind of introduce you to, my network who's watching this, those out you in TV land. This is Jerilyn Brown. She is the host of Unstick Your Stuck Summit, which is this Saturday, May 22nd. We have put the link in the chat if you are interested, and click the Eventbrite so that you can register for it. I'll also make sure that it's posted in the body of this as well, so it stays with the post. And then Jerilyn, I think you can share it on your page so people can learn a little bit about the event. And I'm excited to be a part of it and to teach a workshop at one of the breakout sessions. We're going to be talking about behavioral superpowers, because, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'll share a last quote before I leave Jerilyn to say goodbye, is that it's by Veronica Tagleva. And she says, to know yourself, you must first sacrifice the illusion that you already do.
Ooh.
And that's a tough thing for people sometimes, because we often think, well, we have it all figured out. Well, if you had it all figured out, then you wouldn't be stuck. Okay. So sometimes we have to put the mirror up to ourselves so close that it's painful to look. But if you put the mirror that close, you might see you got a little spinach in your teeth, and then you can take it out. Right.
Exactly. So, oh, I love that. I want you to send that to me so I can post it. That quote is powerful. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop.
I love that quote. It's a framework for everything that I do and teach in the behavioral science world. So Jerilyn, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you put your, after this is done, put a link to yourself in there so people can follow you and know how to find you on all the socials and everything like that. And then, of course, we'll be in touch, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kenyatta. Have a grateful day.
Absolutely. Everyone out there watching, remember, do a hashtag team replay if you're catching the replay, or hashtag team live if you are here. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.